Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is July 18th, 2022, and today is Monday morning. So welcome back, everybody. Looking at the highlights of the day, the U.S. markets rallied back after positive consumer sentiment number comes out. Now, that's a really important number, and you see that for a fact as the markets rallied big last Friday. No major economic news scheduled for today, but as we move along the week, we do have some major events coming up. But first, looking at the Forex symbols, the major pairs rallied back versus the U.S. dollar as the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ both rallied back, the dollar getting weaker. Commodities, looking at gold and oil, both bouncing off support. Now, looking at the stocks, healthcare, financials, and some internet stocks lifted the markets higher. Let's see if we could extend those gains today. Now, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin gaining ground since it's gone down to 18,000 above 22,000 right now. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're starting out with the 4-hour chart of the EUR/USD. We hit below one parity to the dollar last week. We hit 99.68 right there, and then you've seen that actually rally back. Now we're about 120 pips above where we are last week. We're retracing about 20 pips this morning. This is a resistance-ish level right there. Previous support, subsequent resistance, and just play the levels, okay? I do believe we'll be trading within a 50 pip range. I mean, at least for now. Okay, somewhere in between these two ranges, we should be, trading as this is hitting that upper limit there. Now, looking at the other major Forex symbols, GBP USD rallied over 200 pips. Okay, that's more right since the euro rallies 100 pips, the GBP rallies versus the dollar 200 pips. I mean, even a little bit less than that, 120, 130 pips here. Now, again, we are hitting a little bit of a resistance-ish level. I do expect a retracement at some point. Australian dollar rallied the biggest, really the stronger versus the US dollar, okay, but still didn't break above it. I would have expected it to be at 68, 64. So there's still some strength in the dollar, at least for now. Now, jumping into commodities, first looking at gold, jumping off that 17. Now, this was a big number I gave you last week. 17 was that low that I expected it to hit, and sure enough, that's exactly what we hit. We're hitting at 17.14 and bouncing off our lows. Now, looking at gold, this is another oil, excuse me. Now, here also, this is looking very nicely as it's bouncing off of that support 94 right there. It dipped even lower to 91, oversold situation, and we're right now trading at 98. Now, I do expect some resistance, believe it or not, on $100, okay, which should be right there. Okay, so keep that in mind. If we do break above that, I think 105 is going to be the next spot. But keep this in mind. Now, we're just hitting the 8-day moving average, which is right there at 99. So if it doesn't break above it, we could see a retracement, but not a big retracement. We could see it going back to the 94-ish levels. Keep that in mind. Now, looking at the U.S. markets, first looking at the Dow Jones, look at that, from 30,653 to 31,000. Right now at 360, which is over a 700 to 900 point rally, okay, just in the past 2 days. You see the trickling down over the last week, and then in one day you make it all back up. Now, this is very, very reminiscent of a bearish market where you have these huge spikes. It takes a few days to sell off, and then these massive spikes. Now, if we do break above this 31,500, I expect us to be somewhere in the 32,000 if we get that far and that high. Now, we've tested this level several times at 31,500 on the top side, and we've been, what should I say? We've been struggling with it several times. So just keep that in mind as this continues to happen with a bearish kind of environment. Now, looking at the NASDAQ is being a little bit stronger here to 12,000. Again, this is a situation. Let's see it a little bit clearer here. Okay, that's a little bit better. Here, there you go. 12,150 is a resistance level. It's trading with it. So, the markets are trading with the stocks. If we look at the individual stocks, we'll see that they're not trading higher than the markets. And that's something to contend with because, there's no parity there. Looking at Apple, you could see we're at that upper range, but it's not breaking higher. If it does break higher, sure enough, the markets will break higher as well. Looking at Facebook, also rallied back at that top of that range, 164. If we look at Microsoft, didn't rally back, which I'm a little bit more concerned here because Microsoft is a major player here. Now, lastly, looking at Tesla, it's coming out with some major numbers this week. It's kind of like just trading sideways right now, okay, because we've been consolidating between this 800-ish level and 650-ish level for quite some time since May. So this is really a telling sign with Tesla coming out with its earning report this week. So keep this in the loop. Make sure you're on top of it as well. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, there you see it. It was at 22,000. It's retracing right now, but it hit that 22,000-ish level, you know, and it's coming back and it's looking much stronger with that momentum. Okay, so if it does continue this momentum, let's look at a daily, and we continue breaking above this 22,000 with some we could possibly see it going back to the 25,000. Keep that in mind as this week unfolds. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.